Kiran, it was a pleasure seeing you on Zoom now today, like after you have got, huge rank, huge success in UPSC CSE. So, tell us about your experience after the result has come out. So, how do you feel? I mean, now being a topper.
So I feel really happy because I've been, toiling through the UPSC cycle for a while right now. And this was my last attempt because I'm at the fag end of the age limit. So this was my last attempt, and there were a lot of hurdles all along the path. So it was really nice that I could make it through in the last attempt, and also to get such a rank as 100. I was never expecting that. So I'm really, really happy that this happened at this point.
That's great. So, Kiran, how do you how do you see your success from now? I mean, since you have been already selected, right? You have made it to the list of UPSC. So, how do you plan your future from now?
So the first thing is to join the training. And the second thing that I'm looking forward to is to interact with people and to drive positive change. So that's one of the main reasons that had motivated me to join the service to do more. So I work at an IT job right now. I've been with the IT job for 10 years. So 4 years or 5 years into the job, that's when I realized I need to do something more. So I'm really happy and looking forward to doing something more, touching different sections of the society and seeing how best I can help them.
That's good. So, Kiran, I would like to know about your preparation strategy because, like many people out there, so they might be interested to know how a topper has studied, how a topper like you managed to devote their time for preparation of UPSC CSE. And since you are telling that like you are a person who has been walking right along with your preparation, so how did you manage your time? And so, how do you suggest a person who is trying to prepare for UPSC along with their job?
So definitely UPSC preparation is possible along with your job. So many people have proved that even before my attempt. So definitely it's possible. But one of the main things that every aspirant has to keep in mind is like time management is really, really critical. So you have to maintain a healthy work-life balance. So in my case, I had a 9 to 6 job, and it was a pretty hectic job. So 9 to 6, I would work, and everything else would take a back seat. So it's all work between 9 and 6. But before 9 a.m. in the morning and after 6 p.m. in the evening, it's always devoted to my personal time, and I ensure that nothing from work spills over here. So that's how I used to manage time. So I used to have a session in the morning, and I used to have a session in the evening where I studied. So those two sessions are really important, and we should also cut out all those activities which are not really necessary. So that is also important because we need to prioritize things and see how best we can use the time that we have in hand. So time management is critical, and the second most important thing is smart work, because you can have all this time and then not invest it productively as well. So you need to use this time productively and invest it in areas which give you high returns on investment. So if you are going for topics which are being asked very frequently in UPSC, that's a smart investment because the chances of you getting a question there is really highly likely. But if you're going to a topic which pops up on the question paper once in a while, it doesn't make sense to study that first. Maybe if you are done with all the important topics and if you have some time towards the end, you can study that. So even if you like those kind of topics which are offbeat, it doesn't make sense to prioritize them if they are not really popping up in the question paper with a lot of questions. So I think smart work is also really, really key here. And one more thing that I would like to add here is I had a minimalistic approach where I did not refer many books. So I would refer one fundamental textbook and just be clear with that and be done with it. So I think that was also important. And along with that, I think the exam simulation was also important because you need to be taking test series and writing them down, managing time, and also be practicing what you would be practicing in the exam center. So that's really important. So I even gave a couple of mocks with my mask because a couple of panels were asking the candidates to keep their masks on. And in fact, my interview also In my interview also, my chairman asked me to keep the mask on. So it helped that I gave a couple of interviews with the masks. So I think those things will give you additional confidence and prepare you for the real deal.
All right. So, like when it comes to preparation of GS papers, so how do you? I mean, like how do you suggest a person like who is just a beginner to strategize their preparation, and especially like we will also talk about ethics paper as well. So, how do how did you plan your ethics preparation?
So first of all, I think the first question was how I did my GS preparation. So for mains, I did not do extra GS preparation. So whatever I had studied for prelims actually was useful in my mains as well. So my preparation for prelims was mainly centered around four topics, basically environment, polity, economics, and modern India. So ancient India, geography, and medieval India. I did have a basic knowledge about it, but not in-depth knowledge about it. So this is how I strategized, and this is how I worked on it. And then again, ancient India and medieval India is not asked in the mains much, so that also was not a problem when it came to the mains. But again, coming to the mains, one of the main things that work for me is that I was okay with writing descriptive papers. So I was okay structuring the answers and answering to the point. So the only thing that I had to work on was the content fundamentally. So I basically read through the current affairs, newspapers, and fundamentally went through all the static material that is important. So I kept the sources minimal. I did not refer multiple books. I would just go to one book, maybe Lakshmikant alone in polity, or one book alone in economics, then that's it. I would be done with it. So a basic understanding of all these helped in GS preparation. And now coming to the ethics side, so in 2019, I had given my mains. So in that time, I think I tried to attend a video lecture course and see how it goes. So I tried to study a lot of theory, and it did not really work for me. So this year in 2021, when I gave the mains for ethics, my preparation was very minimal again. So what I did was I took out the syllabus. I found out all the keywords, and for all these keywords, I found out a standard definition for them, and I memorized these standard definitions. And other than that, what I did was I looked up examples for all of these keywords, and I got two set of examples for each of these keywords. One was basically something from the public sphere. So to just give you an example, there's a story of Princess Diana shaking hands with an AIDS patient, showing empathy, compassion, similar values. So I would study a example from the public sphere, and also would also make one up or note down one from my personal experience. And I would just code these things in my answers. So that was the strategy I took for ethics. And along with that, I also had a well-defined pattern for case studies. So I would first write down the stakeholders, the values involved, the solutions possible, the pros and cons of these solutions. So I also had a set way of doing the case studies. And one most important thing that I really wanted to focus on this year during the ethics paper was I wanted to complete it at any cost, and I wanted to complete it really well. So I took on the first part, which is basically the theory part first, and then I wrote the case studies. So the case studies could be written in a minimalist way or in a maximalist way based on the time. So I was able to balance my time out really well in between both sections, and that really helped in my ethics paper.
All right. So when it comes to Lukmaan IAS, so how do you feel like Lukmaan IAS has helped you in your preparation journey for civil services exam?
At Lukmaan IAS, I think the most important thing that I got from Lukmaan IAS was your answer papers, actually, and the discussions that you had on them, because they were really informative, and they were also very in line with the recent things that were happening in my option public administration. So I had attended the public administration test series alone here. So that was a game changer, because I think I had 285 marks for public administration.
Oh, that's good. Great.
Yeah, so compared to 2019, I only had 200. So along with the notes that I had from my mentor and the coaching classes and everything, the test series actually prepped me up to use those knowledge. So the test series, along with the answer keys and the discussions, were really informative. And I also like the professional attitude that you guys have, because the answer papers get corrected on time, and there are valuable feedbacks and comments for each and every question. So It was really informative, and I really it really had a huge impact on my preparation, the test series.
Okay. So how did you write those test papers? Did you used to come to the classroom and write test here, or you used to write the test at home and upload it for evaluation? How it worked out for you?
First of all, I think your office is in Delhi, right?
Yes.
I'm in Kerala.
All right. All right. Okay.
Okay, so I was a completely online student. I just used to download your question paper, print them, and scan them back,
All
and
right.
write them and scan them back.
All right. That's great. And so, like during the discussion, I mean, like you have written the public admin test series. Also, you got the evaluated papers.
Yes,
So Ansari sir also takes discussion of the public admin, papers after every test is conducted.
yes.
So, like, how did you attend those test discussion? Did you attend the live lectures, or you used to watch the recorded videos for the test papers?
I used to watch the recorded videos because I'm a working profession, so I have my limitations with respect to time.
All right.
So the recordings were more useful for me. And one more thing was, since I wanted to go through them quickly, I could also maybe speed them up a little bit and save time there.
All right. So, so is there anything, any message that you want to give to Ansari sir?
Yes, definitely. I would like to thank him for the wonderful test series, and I've also seen his videos on discussions which have helped me immensely to make concepts very clear. So I really appreciate the fact that he's putting in a lot of effort for people like me. So I would like to thank him.
Yeah. So, Ansari sir might be watching this video at a later stage because, like today,
Okay.
although we have invited sir for joining on the Zoom session, but like he's having some health related aspects. So he
Okay.
has visited a doctor. So he could not join us today. So like we will share this video to sir. Like
Okay.
he will really appreciate your words, and he has given us a message that a student from public admin is always connected to his heart. Why?
Okay.
Because he is the one, I mean, who interacts with the students through the papers, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that the students are writing. So although many a times Ansari sir is not able to meet each and every student physically, but the thing is he goes through the understanding of the students through the test papers that they are writing. So
Mm-hmm.
he goes through the test papers, he evaluates them, and during discussion also, those
Mm-hmm.
are students who join the live lectures, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they have an opportunity to ask questions to sir, or get their doubts cleared during the session itself. So and for in your case, since you have been a working professional, you had some time constraints, right, during your preparation phase also, right? So you
Correct.
have prepared through recorded lectures. So that's also a really amazing thing about you. Despite being a lot of what we say constraints on your part, right? You have managed your timing so well that you have prepared well, and you have got one of the highest ranks in the civil services this year. And I really appreciate you for the kind of work that you have been doing, and I mean managing your time with your job and all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for knowing that.
So,
And Lukman has helped me really optimize my strategy also. So thank you for that as well.
right. Thank you so much. So, I have one more follow-up question for you. I mean,
Sure.
there are many students who are planning to take public admin as an optional subject, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what do you think that the role that the public admin as an optional subject plays in someone's life? For example, there are students who are during the preparation stage, they learn so many concepts related to public admin, but after they get into services also, these concepts really shape their ideas, how to manage the administration. So how do you think that public administration plays role in someone's career, or in their life to come?
First of all, even before I learned public administration, I had worked in a corporate environment for a very long period. So to be exact, as of now, I've worked 10 years. So a lot of these theories that we've learned, that we learn in public administration, I can relate to them very well. So the motivation theories, the thinkers, a lot of things. I can relate a lot of theories in paper one to the actual work environment that I've had for 10 years. And I work with different kinds of people as well. So I can understand every kind of people that are there in the organization. So public administration is very relevant. So it doesn't matter whether you work in administration or in a private organization, you will come across these theories that you learn in public administration. So I think it will benefit people if they learn public administration, because no matter how they work, this is what they're going to see. And one more thing that may be incidental to this is I was asked a question very specific about public administration in my interview, and it was whether we can have startups in public administration. And I did say yes. And we talked about how passport verification and similar things can be outsourced from police to startups and similar organizations, and police can be freed up. So public administration did give me a question right up in my strong point in my interview, which I think was a really good thing that happened in the interview.
All right. So that's a good experience that, like, you might have gone through, because like you have studied the public administration, you have experienced some part of public administration in your professional life, and like you were
Yes.
doing the work in corporate sector. Then,
Yes.
like they have asked a question related to public administration. So like like you might have been able to not only tell the answer, but also like tell something about the experience that you have gone through. I mean, like
Yes.
and also the experience that you might be aspiring to do after you are into the administration. I mean, like after you join the service, like So thank you so much, Kiran, for joining us today. And so it was really a nice session, interacting with you. And I will forward your message to Ansari sir. Ansari sir will watch this lecture whenever he gets free. And for me, it is a good experience, seeing a student of Ansari sir, getting huge success in the civil services exam. Thank you so much once again for connecting with us. Wish you have a good day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, and I wish the very best to Lukmaan and Ansari sir, and I hope he has a speedy recovery. You said there was some health issue, so I wish him a speedy recovery, and I hope he'll have more candidates coming up with very high ranks in public administration and similar subjects very soon. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Study General Studies with Lukmaan IAS for building comprehensive knowledge. GS paper 2 and 4 will be taken by S. Ansari, and other papers will be covered by renowned faculties. Live classes are as effective as offline classes. The classes are highly interactive in nature. Your doubts and queries will be addressed, and there will be dictation of notes. In the last 10 years, Lukmaan IAS has set up a niche in the field of UPSC guidance.